So here you are, standing in the shadow of your own excuses, waiting for the world to make you strong, to hand you success, to deliver your dreams on a silver platter. Pathetic. You know what? That makes you weak. A spectator in your own life, hoping the universe will just feel sorry for you and give you a free pass. But let me break it to you, this world doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your pain, your struggles, or your precious dreams. Out there, it's a war zone, and the only thing that matters is strength. Unyielding, relentless strength. And guess what? No one's going to hand it to you. That's right, strength isn't given, it's ripped, clawed, torn from the very bones of life itself. And if you're still waiting, if you're still looking for someone to save you, then stop watching now. This message isn't for the weak. It's for those who are ready to face a harsh reality. Only the ruthless survive. Only those who show no mercy to their own weakness make it through. So ask yourself, do you have what it takes to go to war with yourself? To crush every excuse, every doubt, every shred of weakness standing in your way? Because if you don't, you might as well walk away now. But if you're ready to kill off every last bit of weakness, to stop flinching, to stop hesitating, then stay right here. We're just getting started. Let's cut through the lies, the excuses, the whining. You think you're struggling because the world's unfair, because life threw you some rough hands. Wrong. Your real enemy isn't out there, it's within. It's every time you hesitate, every time you choose comfort over courage, every time you back down when things get tough. That's weakness, plain and simple. And the brutal truth, it's your choice to stay weak. It's your decision to let fear and doubt control you. Look in the mirror and face it. The only thing standing between you and your potential is your own mind. The voice that whispers, take it easy, back down, wait for a better time. Well, that time isn't coming. There is no safety net, no hidden ally waiting to bail you out. There's only the choice in front of you right now: fight your weakness or let it own you. The question is, are you ready to break down every excuse you built up? To face every flaw, every inch of self-doubt, and strip away the layers of weakness holding you back? If not, then stop right here, because the path ahead isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for those willing to go to war with themselves, to claw through the shadows, to become something stronger, something ruthless. Strength isn't given. It isn't some miracle that just happens if you wait long enough. Strength is ripped, clawed, and fought for day by day. And it's not about having muscles or swagger. Real strength comes from the soul, from the fire that refuses to die, no matter how hard life tries to snuff it out. You see, every moment of pain, every setback, every doubt, that's fuel. That's raw material. But too many people waste it. They let the pain break them, let the setbacks define them. They crawl back into comfort instead of harnessing every ounce of hardship, every shard of failure to make themselves unstoppable. This is what separates the strong from the weak. The strong, they don't cry for mercy. They don't wait for things to get easier. They dig deep, find that unbreakable core, and turn every hit, every loss, every struggle into fuel. They push through the pain until pain itself becomes powerless against them. That's the ruthless strength I'm talking about. The kind that doesn't yield, doesn't hesitate, doesn't back down. Are you ready to let go of your illusions of comfort? To strip away the softness layer by layer until you stand raw and real? Because only then will you know what it means to be truly strong, ruthless, unbreakable. Pain, it's not an obstacle, it's a test. Every moment it sears through you, it's asking one question: are you going to let this break you? But most people, they flinch, they retreat, they start looking for a way out as soon as pain starts talking. They've been told pain is the enemy, something to avoid at all costs. They don't get it. Pain is the fire that forges strength, the hammer that shapes iron. Without pain, there is no growth, no evolution, no edge sharp enough to cut through the weak illusions we cling to. If you want to be someone who stands out, someone who commands respect, you have to stop fearing pain. You have to stand toe-to-toe with it, feel it rip through you, and choose not to back down. You let it tear away every weakness, every bit of softness, until all that's left is raw, ruthless power. So next time you feel that burn, that ache, that doubt, don't run from it. Face it. Own it. Use it. Because the ones who can look pain in the eye without blinking, those are the ones who can take on anything, who don't beg for mercy, who refuse to stay down. Excuses, we all have them. The little stories we tell ourselves to stay comfortable, to avoid pushing the limits. The lie we feed ourselves to justify where we're not where we want to be, why we're not achieving the greatness we pretend to crave. Every time you make an excuse, you're handing over your power. You're giving someone or something control over your life. You let your circumstances define you instead of taking charge and defining your circumstances. It's easy to blame the world, to blame your situation, your upbringing, your luck. But guess what? The world doesn't owe you anything. Life isn't waiting for you to be ready. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you've had a rough day, if you're not in the mood for a fight. Life only respects those who rise above excuses, those who stop complaining and start acting. Every excuse you make is just another chain holding you down. Break it, break all of them. Because as long as you're still hiding behind your excuses, you're never going to rise above the rest. You'll be stuck in the same spot, circling the drain, watching everyone else take what you should have had. I want to know the difference between you and the ones who succeed. They don't make excuses. They make results. They don't look for reasons to quit. They find reasons to keep pushing forward, to keep clawing until they've won. It's time to stop with the excuses. The world's not going to wait for you to get it together. You think you're afraid of the dark? You don't even know what darkness is. You've been avoiding it your entire life, hiding behind comfort, pretending it's something you can escape. But let me make something clear. The darkness is not your enemy. It's the fuel. It's the power you've been running from that will transform you into something unbreakable. The darkness, it's where true strength is forged. You think you know pain. You think you understand struggle. Nah, not until you've been forced to face the part of you that you've tried to bury, the fears, the doubts, the parts of yourself you've ignored because they were too ugly to look at. Here's the truth. You can't escape the dark. It will consume you, break you. But if you learn to embrace it, to step into it, instead of running, you'll come out the other side stronger, sharper, deadlier. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fears. It only respects what you've survived. The darkness will show you exactly what you're capable of. Most people hide from it. They fear it, they avoid it, but not you. You dive straight in. You let it break you down so you can rebuild into something unstoppable. You want to be a survivor. Then you need to embrace the pain, the chaos, and the brutality. You need to get comfortable with discomfort. You need to burn through the darkness, not run from it, because in the end, the only thing that matters is how you rise after being swallowed whole. And when you rise, you'll be a force untouchable, unstoppable. You've been holding back. I can see it in your eyes. You've been playing it safe, afraid to push yourself past the limits you've set. But those limits, they're nothing more than chains. Invisible chains that hold you back from what you could truly become. Let me make this clear. Power isn't given to you. You don't get handed strength. You take it, you seize it, you tear it out of life with your own bare hands. Every second you waste hesitating, doubting yourself is a second someone else is getting stronger. Someone else is stepping up, taking what should have been yours. No one is going to give you the power you deserve. No one is going to hand you respect, status, or success. It's something you earn, something you fight for with every ounce of rage and hunger you've got inside. And if you think you can sit back and wait for it to come to you, you're already defeated. You need to let go of the hesitation. No more wondering if you're good enough. You are. You're capable of more than you ever imagined, but you won't know it until you stop holding back. Until you start to fight like the savage, relentless force you were born to be. And this isn't just about physical strength. This is about mental dominance. The real war isn't fought in the streets or in the ring. It's fought inside your own head. It's that voice that tells you to give up, to stop, to play it safe. It's the voice that tries to convince you you're not enough. Kill it, shut it down, replace it with the roar of hunger, the scream of determination. You've got one choice, fight or be devoured. The world doesn't fear the weak, it fears the relentless, the ones who rise up no matter how many times they fall and keep fighting. You could be that person if you stop hesitating, if you stop waiting for the perfect moment, because guess what? That moment is now. You want to know where the battle really starts. It's not out there in the streets, in the ring, or on the battlefield. It starts in here in the depths of your mind, where every thought, every doubt, every weakness tries to drag you down. That's where the real fight is. Every time you hesitate, every time you stop and second guess yourself, that's a small victory for your weakness. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you're feeding the enemy. That voice inside, the one that tells you to take it easy, to rest, to quit while you're ahead, it's your greatest enemy. And if you keep listening to it, if you keep letting it control you, it will destroy everything you're working for. But here's the thing, you control that voice. You have the power to silence it. You have the strength to crush those doubts before they even get a chance to breathe. Weakness isn't something that happens to you. It's a choice. And you're the one making it every time you give in. Look at your life. Look at everything you've built so far. Is it enough? Is it what you really want? Or is it a reflection of your fear? Because I'll tell you right now, if you're not facing your fears, if you're not battling them head on, then what are you doing? You're just surviving. But survival is for the weak. If you want to thrive, you need to bring the war to your own mind. Take control. Own it. The world doesn't care about your doubts. The world doesn't care about your fears. It only respects power. It only acknowledges strength. And power comes from within. You're either rising to meet the darkness or you're letting it swallow you whole. And the darkness, it's never going to stop coming. Your battle is against your own weakness, your hesitation, your comfort. You need to get ruthless with yourself. Destroy everything that stands between you and greatness, the doubts, the fears. The voice that tells you maybe tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is only now. And if you don't seize it, you're nothing but another casualty in the fight for survival. Power doesn't come cheap. It's not something that's given to you. It's not a gift. It's not a handout. Power is earned. And to earn it, you have to pay a price. The cost is high, but it's one that only the ruthless are willing to pay. Every drop of sweat, every ounce of blood, every moment you sacrifice comfort, safety, and security, that's the price. Every time you feel like giving up, that's the moment when power is born. Every time you push through the pain, the exhaustion, the fear, that's where your strength is forged. People don't just hand over power to those who aren't willing to suffer for it. If you can't take the heat, if you can't survive the fire, then you'll never be anything more than a shadow. You want respect. You want to be feared. You want to make an impact in this world. Then you better be ready to sacrifice. Sacrifice your peace. Sacrifice your comfort. Sacrifice your time. Because the ones who take it all, who rise to the top, are the ones who are willing to give everything. No excuses, no regrets. Just sacrifice. Pain, that's fuel. Fear, that's fuel. Every bit of it is what you use to build the power that makes others tremble when they see you. But you can't be weak. You can't hesitate. You're either pushing forward relentlessly or fading into oblivion. If you want to be great, if you want to dominate, then understand this power comes from enduring the worst and rising from it stronger than ever. The real question is, are you willing to pay the price? Because the world isn't waiting for you. It's waiting for someone to take what's theirs, to claim the throne. And if you don't step up, if you don't take what you want, someone else will. You want to survive, or you want to become unstoppable. If you're serious about claiming power, then get ready to give everything up. Because if you're not willing to pay the price, don't even think about stepping into the arena. This isn't about playing nice. This isn't about making friends. This is war. In war, there's no place for mercy. No place for hesitation. No place for doubt. If you want to make it, you need to burn everything that holds you back, the fear, the softness, the excuses. It's time to step up or step out. There's no room for the weak, no room for the soft-hearted. You can't afford to be kind. You can't afford to hesitate. Every moment you wait, someone else is moving forward. Every second you wait, someone else is rising while you sit there paralyzed by fear, by doubt. And when they pass you, don't even think about complaining. That's your own fault. You were too weak to move. You were too scared to act. And now they own what could have been yours. There's no limit to what you can do, no limit to what you can achieve, except for the limits you set for yourself. The only thing standing between you and your goals is you. Every excuse you make, every bit of mercy you show yourself, that's the weight holding you back. And you know what happens when you carry weight? You slow down, you get crushed. You want to talk about being unstoppable? Then you better get ready to cut the chains of comfort, of safety, of anything that's keeping you weak. Mercy, that's a luxury for those who aren't in the fight. You think you have time to care about being gentle. You think you have time to be kind. Nah, the only thing you need to care about is survival. Survivaler? Let me tell you something, there's no limit to how far you can go, except for the limits you place on yourself. So stop holding back, stop second guessing, stop looking for reasons to fold. The only reason you fail is because you let yourself fail. But if you shed that weakness, if you shed that doubt, you will become a force. You will become unstoppable. And that's when you'll make the world tremble. You're not just fighting to survive, you're fighting to crush everything in your path. You're fighting to leave a mark, to be remembered, to be feared. And if that means burning bridges, if that means tearing through every obstacle in your way, then so be it. No mercy, no limits, only power, only survival. And if you're not ready to pay the price, then step aside. Because the ones who survive are the ones who don't stop, who don't hesitate, who don't wait for someone to tell them it's okay to win. The road to greatness, it's not a smooth highway, it's not a path you take with a map with signs telling you where to turn, where to stop, where to rest. No, the path to power is a relentless, unforgiving journey where the only thing that matters is whether you have the guts to keep going when everything inside you screams to quit. Look around you. The world doesn't owe you anything, not a thing. If you want success, you're gonna have to claw it out, fight for every inch. And even then, there are no guarantees. There will be days when you'll feel like giving up. There will be nights where you'll lie awake, questioning everything, doubting yourself. But that's the test, that's the crucible. That's where champions are made, in the fire, in the struggle, in the pain. Everyone talks about the destination, the success, the victory, the rewards, but they don't talk about the journey, the grind. The grind that burns your soul, breaks your spirit, and forces you to decide, will you bend or will you break? Will you keep going or will you fall? You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have time to wonder if you're good enough. The only thing you need to know is that if you stop, if you even consider quitting, you lose. You can look for excuses, you can search for comfort, but at the end of the day, the world is relentless. It doesn't care about your struggles. It doesn't care about your pain. It doesn't care if you had a bad day or if you feel exhausted. The world moves on. And if you don't keep up, you get left behind. And here's the truth, you can either embrace the grind or get crushed by it. There's no middle ground. It's you against the world, you against the pain, you against every single obstacle that tries to stop you. Relentless, that's what you need to be. Relentless in your pursuit of victory. Relentless in your refusal to be weak. Relentless in the face of every challenge, every setback, every failure. There are no days off. There is no easy. There's only one thing that matters, getting up and pushing forward no matter what. Each step forward, no matter how small, gets you closer to what you want. But if you stop, if you falter, you go backwards. And that's the one thing you can't afford to do. Never stop, never rest, never give in. The path is relentless, it's harsh, it's painful. But if you can survive it, if you can conquer it, then there is nothing that can stop you from claiming what is yours. Pain, it's the one thing we all try to avoid, the one thing that makes us want to quit, to hide, to run away. But here's the truth, pain is power. Pain is the only thing that forces you to grow, to evolve, to become stronger. No one gets to the top without enduring it. No one becomes their best self without feeling the burn. You see, pain is a teacher and it's teaching you one lesson. You're not finished yet. Every time you push through the pain, every time you rise when you want to fall, you become unbreakable. The more pain you endure, the stronger you get. Pain is the price of greatness, and if you want to be great, you have to pay it. It's not about avoiding the pain, it's about embracing it, welcoming it, understanding that without it, you won't reach the next level. Without it, you won't change. Pain is your ally, not your enemy. It forces you to dig deeper, to find strength you didn't know you had. It's the catalyst for the transformation you're after. So stop running from it, stop pretending it doesn't exist, and start using it. The next time you're faced with pain, don't shy away, don't look for an easy way out. Lean into it, push through it. Because when you do, you'll realize the pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to make you. The more you embrace it, the stronger you become. And soon pain will be the thing that fuels you, the thing that drives you to become more, to achieve more, to conquer more. Pain is not your enemy, it's the key to your evolution. Embrace it and you'll find that nothing can stop you. Listen closely because this is the truth you need to hear. No one cares, not about your excuses, not about your pain, not about your struggle. The world, it doesn't owe you anything. You think someone's going to pick you up when you fall. You think there's going to be someone there to hold your hand, to tell you everything's going to be okay. Think again, no one cares. Every time you falter, every time you stumble, the world doesn't pause for you, it keeps moving. Life doesn't stop for you, it doesn't slow down. And you know what? It never will. People aren't sitting around waiting to feel sorry for you. They don't see your pain, your effort, your battles. They see what you've achieved, what you've become. And if you haven't achieved anything, if you haven't become anything, then they won't even notice you. The truth hurts, doesn't it? But here's the thing, you don't need anyone to care. What you need is to care about yourself. You need to care about what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to put on the line to get what you want. Because the only person who will make sure you rise, the only person who will care enough to push you to the limit is you. Stop waiting for someone to show up and hand you success. Stop waiting for sympathy, for a handout, for an easy way out. The world doesn't care, and it never will. So stop waiting for it to. You need to get ruthless. Stop asking for validation. Stop looking for people to support you. You're the only one who can change your destiny. You're the only one who can make sure you get what you want. If you want something, you take it. Here's the harsh reality. No one's going to care until you prove it. Until you show the world what you're made of, until you go out there and take what you deserve. So stop asking for permission, stop seeking approval. Go out there and make them care. You think anyone cares about your excuses? No, they care about what you do, what you become. They care about results. Make them care. Let me tell you something. If you want to rise, if you want to leave your mark, then you're going to have to burn some bridges. There's no other way. You can't drag dead weight behind you. You can't keep holding on to people, places, and things that hold you back, that keep you tethered to mediocrity. Burn them all. The moment you decide to chase greatness, the moment you choose to fight like there's no tomorrow, you'll realize something crucial. Most people can't come with you, and that's not their fault. It's yours. You're going to have to leave them behind. You've been carrying people on your back, protecting them, trying to make them comfortable. But comfort kills. It keeps you weak. You need to stop holding on to relationships, excuses, and distractions that keep you from your destiny. Burn those bridges. You can't move forward by looking back. You can't become something greater while still tied to your past, to people who never saw your potential, to people who never believed in the fire inside you. Let them go. And it's not just about people. It's about everything. That job you hate, burn it. That routine that keeps you stuck in the same place day after day, burn it. The fear that keeps you playing small, that makes you hesitate every time a real opportunity knocks. Burn it. You don't need any of it. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. You'll feel the weight of the loss, the emptiness of burning bridges. But here's the truth. Those bridges were never meant to carry you to the other side. They were there to hold you back, to keep you in your comfort zone. Now, you get to decide what's next. You get to decide who you're going to become. But you can't do that if you're still dragging chains from your past, if you're still clutching onto people and things that are only weighing you down. Burn those bridges. Let the flames light the way forward. Walk through the ashes, and when you emerge, you'll be unstoppable. Remember this, you can't have what you want until you're willing to lose everything. Burn the bridges. Mercy, what a joke. You think this world owes you something? That it's going to hand you anything on a silver platter? Nah, mercy, that's for the weak. The ones too scared to do what it takes to survive. You want mercy? Then turn around, because you won't find it here. This world doesn't care about your struggles, doesn't care about your pain. It's only going to give you what you take. So take it, rip it out of life's hands. Stop waiting for someone to hand you a break. You want mercy, earn it. But understand this, you'll never earn it by being soft, by hesitating, by doubting yourself. Mercy is for those who surrender. It's for the ones who don't fight, the ones who play it safe, who shrink when the pressure hits. You want to be them, fine. But then stay in the back, stay forgotten. But if you want to stand in the front, if you want to carve your name into the stone of history, then you need to understand no mercy. This isn't a game. This is war. And war doesn't care about your feelings. War doesn't care if you're tired, if you're hurt, if you've had enough. It just keeps coming, keeps testing you, keeps throwing everything at you to see if you've got the guts to stand. Every time you hesitate, every time you show mercy, you give the world permission to walk all over you. And that's exactly what it will do. You'll be crushed underfoot, forgotten, and left behind. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them say you'll never make it. That's the fuel you need. When they turn their backs, when they underestimate you, that's when you rise. You show them what it means to be relentless, to show no mercy, not to others, to yourself. Kill the part of you that's afraid. Kill the part of you that wants to be nice, that wants to please others. You want power, respect, then earn it the hard way with blood, sweat, and tears. But above all, with no mercy. Crush everything in your path. Leave nothing behind but ashes and a name that no one will ever forget. Mercy, it's dead. And if you can't handle that, then step aside, because I'm not here to coddle you. I'm here to make you ruthless. To show you what it really means to fight. And when you understand that, maybe, just maybe, you'll be ready for what comes next. Choices. Life is nothing but a series of choices. Every moment you spend thinking, hesitating, wondering whether to take action is a moment you'll never get back. A moment that life, with its cold indifference, doesn't care about. You think you have time. You don't. Time doesn't wait for you to get your act together. It doesn't care about your excuses, your delays. You have one choice, act or perish. Everything else is just noise. You've heard people say it's never too late. That's a lie. Time doesn't forgive. You can waste your life away waiting for the right moment, or you can make this moment right. There's no such thing as the perfect time to start, the perfect moment to leap. You make your own moments. You make your own choice. Now let me make this clear. This is the final choice. Every decision you've made up until now has led you here. This is the point of no return. You're either going to step up or fall behind. You'll either conquer your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses, or they will conquer you. Simple as that. No one is coming to save you. There's no hero, no rescue party. It's just you against the world, standing at a crossroad. And the path you choose today will define everything. Not tomorrow, today. You've been making excuses, hoping for a better opportunity. Guess what? That opportunity is here now, right in front of you. The world doesn't care how you feel. It cares about what you do, your choices, the results. So make them count. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for a sign. This is your sign. If you want power, you want control, you want to be remembered, you need to make that choice and take it. Take it with everything you have. And when you do, when you make the decision to crush your fears, to break free from the chains holding you down, know this: there's no going back. There's no mercy. There's no second chance. You've reached the end. The final choice, what will it be? Deep inside you, there's a beast waiting to be unleashed. It's been there hiding, caged up by your own fears, your doubts, your weakness. But it's hungry, and it's getting tired of being locked away. You feel it, don't you? That raw, primal hunger inside. The part of you that wants to break free, to rip through every obstacle in its path and claim what's yours. But here's the truth: you've been feeding it scraps. You've been playing nice, staying soft, acting like the world owes you something. It doesn't. The world only respects one thing: power. And the beast inside, it doesn't want to beg for scraps. It doesn't want to whimper for mercy. It wants to take everything. So why haven't you let it out? Why are you still holding it back? You think you're too nice? Too weak to face the storm? Let me tell you something: you've got it all wrong. You were never meant to be nice. You were never meant to be soft. You were meant to be unstoppable, relentless, ruthless. Every time you hesitate, every time you look for an excuse to hold back, you're letting the beast stay chained up, and it gets weaker. But it doesn't forget that hunger inside you. It's growing. The more you ignore it, the more it becomes a threat to you. Because one day when you can't hold it back anymore, when that beast breaks free, it won't be controlled, and you'll be left trying to catch up with the destruction it's caused. Let it out. You need to. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. This world doesn't care about your comfort, your doubts, your fears. All it cares about is what you're willing to fight for. And if you're still waiting for a reason to fight, then you're already losing. The beast inside, it doesn't care about being liked. It doesn't care about being feared. It cares about being undefeated. It cares about standing tall when the rest of the world is lying down, broken and defeated. It cares about surviving, winning, and conquering every single challenge thrown its way. So what's it going to be? You're going to keep it locked up? Or you're going to let the beast loose and watch it tear through every obstacle until nothing stands in its way? Power isn't free. You want to be unstoppable. You want to rise above the masses, to carve your path and make the world bow to you. Then get ready to pay the price. The price of power is steep, and it's not for the faint of heart. It demands everything you've got: your time, your energy, your soul, and even then it won't be enough, because the world doesn't give power away. You have to earn it. And that means sacrifices. The weak ones, they don't understand this. They think power is about luck, about connections, about being in the right place at the right time. But they couldn't be more wrong. Power is about grinding. It's about putting in the hours when others are resting, pushing through the pain when others are quitting. It's about walking a path that most people are too scared to even acknowledge exists. So what are you willing to sacrifice for power? Are you willing to let go of your comfort, your peace, your relationships? Because the moment you decide to chase power, you're going to lose some of these things. They won't fit in the world you're about to enter. You'll lose friends who don't understand why you're so hungry. You'll lose family who can't fathom your drive. And you'll lose a part of yourself that thought it could still have it all. But let me be clear, this is not a fairy tale. Power is not something you get to hold and admire. Something you fight for. It's something you keep at all costs. And if you want to survive in this world, you can't afford to care about what you've lost along the way. Because when you're standing at the top, looking down on everyone who doubted you, the only thing that matters is that you're still standing. The price you paid, it'll be worth it, every single damn bit. You think you can climb to the top without scars, without pain. Think again. The higher you rise, the more you'll realize that power doesn't come without destruction. You'll lose part of yourself, you'll lose pieces of your humanity, but that's the cost. And if you want to be one of the few who ever make it to the top, then you need to accept that price. No mercy, no excuses. So what's it going to be? Are you ready to pay the price? Or are you going to back down, too afraid to lose what you think matters? Are you ready to hear the truth? The truth that no one has the guts to say. The truth that the world is not kind to the weak, the indecisive, or the complacent. The truth is, Success does not wait. Time does not wait. And every moment you hesitate, someone else is charging forward, getting stronger, getting faster, getting closer to their goal. Relentless pursuit. That's what it takes. No hesitation, no second guessing, no what ifs. When you make a decision, you move, you act, you destroy any obstacle in your path, and you keep going even when the world tells you to stop, even when your body is screaming for rest, even when your mind is telling you it's too much. It doesn't matter. You keep going. People will try to tell you that balance is key, that you should take breaks, prioritize self-care, and be kind to yourself. But here's the reality: kindness gets you nowhere. Comfort makes you weak. Resting too long gives your competitors the advantage. While you sleep, they're out there, they're getting better, they're getting closer to everything you want, and they won't wait for you. This is the price of success. It demands your full attention, your full focus, your relentless pursuit. If you want to win, if you want to dominate, then you cannot afford to be passive. You cannot afford to sit on the sidelines watching others take what should be yours. You get up and you go after it. No excuses, no mercy. Every failure, every rejection, every setback, use it. Use it to fuel your relentless pursuit. Let it remind you that the world doesn't care. It won't hand you anything. But if you're willing to go the distance, to push yourself past every limit, there is nothing stopping you. The world can try to knock you down, but you will rise again, stronger, more determined, relentless. And that's what separates the winners from the losers. The ones who make it are the ones who never stop. They never stop moving, never stop fighting, never stop pursuing their goals with every ounce of energy they have. And if you want to be one of them, you need to make that decision now. No mercy. Never stop, never rest. Are you ready to chase it? Or are you just going to sit back and watch others live your dream? Everyone has chains. Every single person is bound by something. It could be fear, doubt, laziness, the opinions of others, or even their own weaknesses. These chains keep you tethered to mediocrity, holding you back from your true potential. And if you're being honest with yourself, you know exactly what's holding you back. You tell yourself you don't have the time. You convince yourself you're not good enough. You make excuses because facing the truth is uncomfortable. You stay stuck in the cycle of "I'll try tomorrow," "it's too hard," or "I'm just not ready." But you're not going to get ready. You're not going to break free from the chains unless you make a choice. The choice to stop being a victim of your own life. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to break those chains for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to find the strength within you to destroy the things holding you back and break free from your limitations. You have to realize that the world will not give you permission to succeed. You have to take it by force. Look at the chains around you, the comfort zones you've created, the toxic relationships, the habits that drag you down. They're all there weighing you down, keeping you small. They give you an illusion of safety, but that safety is a lie. It's a prison of your own making. It's time to break those chains, to rip apart the walls that have kept you locked away from your true power. It won't be easy. It will hurt. It will make you uncomfortable. It will feel like the world is fighting against you. But that's the point. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The struggle is part of the process. You will bleed, you will cry, you will doubt yourself, but every drop of pain is a step toward your freedom. Every second you fight is a moment closer to the life you want. And once you break those chains, nothing will ever be the same. You won't recognize the person you were. You will be unstoppable. Because the person who has fought and defeated their own limitations is not the same person they were when they started. They are more dangerous, they are more driven, they are a force to be reckoned with. So I ask you, are you going to stay in your chains? Are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment? Or will you make today the day you take control and break free? Make no mistake, the power to change your life is in your hands. No mercy. Break your chains or stay stuck forever. Greatness doesn't come for free. If you want to be remembered, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to reach heights most people only dream of, you're going to have to pay the price. And that price isn't measured in dollars or material things, it's measured in sacrifice. Every person who has ever accomplished something monumental, something world-changing, has had to make choices. And those choices weren't easy. They didn't get to have it all. They didn't get to be comfortable. They didn't get to sleep in late, take breaks, or give in to their weaknesses. No, they had to give up parts of themselves. They had to leave comfort behind, push past pain, and redefine their limits. But this is the reality you need to face. If you want to be great, you cannot be like everyone else. You can't walk the same path as the majority. The road to greatness is a lonely one. The road to greatness demands that you leave behind the friendships, the distractions, and the comforts that are dragging you down. You're going to have to shed the parts of you that are holding you back. Every ounce of energy, every bit of time, every second you spend worrying about what others think or indulging in the trivial distractions is time lost. And time lost is something you can never get back. And here's the brutal truth. Greatness isn't built by a handful of sacrifices. It's constant. Day in and day out. You will have to make the hard choices. You will have to give up sleep, time with loved ones, comfort and certainty. You will have to make decisions that others will never understand. Your friends will question you. Your family might resent you. People will label you as obsessed, as extreme, as too much. But it doesn't matter because you know something they don't. You know what it costs. You'll lose people. You'll face setbacks. You'll experience betrayal. That's the cost of greatness. The higher you climb, the fewer people you'll have cheering you on. The greater your success, the more others will try to tear you down. You'll face isolation. And that's the moment you need to understand. The more you give up, the stronger you become. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who want to take the easy route. It's not for those who are content with mediocrity. The price of greatness is relentlessness. It's sacrifice without hesitation. It's choosing the grind over comfort every single time. And when you face the doubt, the exhaustion, and the endless pressure, you have to remind yourself, this is what it takes. This is the price you pay for greatness. And it's worth every ounce of pain. So are you ready to pay the price? Are you ready to give up the distractions, the comfort, the things that make you feel good for just a moment? Because greatness doesn't wait. The price is high, but the rewards are eternal. Choose wisely. Every action you take has consequences. Every choice you make echoes throughout your life, shaping your future in ways you can't even imagine yet. The reckoning is coming for you. It doesn't matter how much you try to avoid it. It doesn't matter how much you pretend it isn't happening. You can't outrun the inevitable. You can delay it for a while, bury it under excuses, hide behind distractions, but eventually the moment will come when you have to face the truth. The reckoning. It's that moment when all your failures, your missed opportunities, your wasted potential stare you in the face. When you look in the mirror and realize the person staring back at you isn't the one you promised you'd become. It's the moment when your lies, your procrastination, your self-deceit will demand payment. You will be forced to confront it. And the harshest part, the reckoning doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how hard you've tried or how good your intentions were. It doesn't care how much you've convinced yourself that you were too busy, too tired, or too scared to give your all. When the reckoning arrives, all that matters is the truth. Did you put in the work? Did you make the sacrifices? Did you take the hard path? Or did you take the easy way out? The reckoning comes when you've spent so much time avoiding the discomfort of growth that you've lost the chance to truly change. It's when you've ignored the signs, avoided the pain, and allowed the days to slip away. And in that moment, you'll realize that the most terrifying thing about the reckoning isn't the consequences you face. It's that you had the power to avoid it all along. So let me ask you this. How long are you going to wait? How long are you going to let your excuses keep you in the same spot, stagnant, wasting time? The reckoning is coming, and it will hit harder than anything you've ever experienced. But when it does, will you be able to look back and say you fought for what you wanted? Or will you look back and realize you wasted it all? The reckoning is unforgiving. It shows no mercy, and it will leave you with only one question. Did you live with urgency, or did you just exist? Voice lowers, reflective. The only thing that will save you from the reckoning is action. The only way to silence the voice of regret is to act now, to stop making excuses, to stop letting fear control you, to stop wasting time. Your reckoning is inevitable. It's coming, and the only question you need to ask yourself is, will you be ready when it arrives? Or will you allow it to destroy everything you've ever dreamed of? You've made it this far, but now comes the most critical moment in your life, the final choice. Every single day you face decisions. Some are small, barely even noticeable. Others are massive, life-altering. And yet, all of them lead to one thing, the ultimate choice. Will you continue living in the comfort of what's easy, or will you take the path that leads to everything you've ever dreamed of? But here's the thing, this isn't some grand philosophical question. This isn't about what you believe in or what you think is right. This is about action. This is about the decision to make sacrifices, to cut out the distractions, to say no to the easy way out, to choose pain over comfort, struggle over stagnation. The truth is, most people will choose the path of least resistance. They'll choose the comfort of their current situation, no matter how miserable or limiting it may be. Because it's familiar, because it's easy, because at least for now they don't have to face the cold, harsh reality of what it really takes to become great. But not you, not anymore. You know what it takes. You know that the path you've been walking hasn't gotten you closer to your goals. You know that if you don't make the choice to step into the fire, you'll continue to stay stuck in the same place, forever chasing a dream that always feels out of reach. The final choice is simple. Will you keep lying to yourself, convincing yourself that tomorrow will be the day you start? Or will you make the choice to stop talking and start doing? Will you take responsibility for your future and burn every bridge that leads to complacency? Will you make the ultimate choice to sacrifice everything you thought you knew about comfort, about safety, and step into the unknown? Make no mistake, the final choice isn't about what you say, it's about what you do. And when you finally make that choice, when you stop making excuses and stop running away from the hard decisions, that's when you'll understand what true power feels like. But the hardest part, no one can make this choice for you. Only you can decide whether you're going to live a life of excuses or a life of unrelenting action. So I'll ask you again, in the clearest, coldest way possible, what is your final choice? Will you live in regret, forever haunted by the things you didn't do, the chances you didn't take? Or will you choose to step up now and burn every ounce of hesitation out of your body, leaving only the fire of relentless pursuit? Because once you make the choice, there's no going back, there's no undoing it. And in that moment, you'll either be the person who let the opportunity slip away, or the one who took control and burned a new path forward. The final choice is yours. What are you waiting for? You've made the choice. Now comes the aftermath. Everyone loves the idea of success, the fame, the power, the freedom. But what no one tells you about is the aftermath. The moments after you've burned every bridge, after you've made that hard decision to pursue your dreams at all costs. In those moments when the excitement fades and the dust settles, you'll find yourself standing at the crossroads. It's not as glamorous as people make it look. It's just you, alone, staring into the abyss, wondering if what you just gave up was worth it. Every sacrifice you made, every comfort you left behind, every relationship you destroyed suddenly, the consequences start to hit you. The reality of your choices starts to weigh on your soul. You will wonder if the sacrifice was worth it. You'll ask yourself, is this really what I wanted? But here's the thing you need to understand. The aftermath isn't a time to second guess yourself. It's a time to embrace the storm. The aftermath is where the real transformation happens. It's where your resolve is tested. It's where you prove to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, that you can handle the pain of sacrifice and continue to move forward no matter what. Most people can't handle the aftermath. They crumble under the weight of their decisions. They fold, retreating into the comfort of what's familiar, unable to withstand the pressure. But that's not you. Not anymore. You've made a commitment. You've chosen your path. And now, you're going to see it through no matter what the aftermath looks like. You'll face the pain. You'll face the loneliness. You'll face the uncertainty of whether or not you're making the right choices. But you'll face it with resolve. The aftermath is your proving ground. It's where you separate yourself from the weak, from the average, from the ones who couldn't take the heat and ran back to comfort. But here's the secret that nobody tells you. The aftermath isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's the foundation upon which you'll build your empire. Because once you face the aftermath and survive it, once you've proven to yourself that you can handle the pain and uncertainty, you'll come out stronger, more capable, more dangerous than you ever thought possible. The question is, are you ready for that? Are you ready to take the weight of the aftermath and use it to fuel your growth? Or will you fall apart under the pressure and go back to the life you once knew, forever haunted by the dreams you never chased? The aftermath is where you'll find out what you're really made of. Are you ready to face it? Everyone leaves something behind. The question is, what will your legacy be? It's easy to get lost in the grind of the journey, focused on the battles of today, consumed by the struggle to climb. But there's one thing you cannot ignore: the legacy you leave behind. When you're long gone, the world will forget your name. They will forget your struggles. The pain, the sacrifices, the nights you spent wondering if you'd make it through, those will fade. But the legacy you leave behind will never die. What do you want that legacy to be? Do you want to be remembered as someone who played it safe? Someone who never dared to step into the fire? Or do you want to be the one who rose from the ashes? The one who fought, who sacrificed, who pushed the limits of what was possible. A legacy is not built by the average. It's not built by the comfortable, the complacent, or the weak. It's built by those who refuse to be ordinary. It's forged by those who sacrifice everything for something bigger than themselves. But here's the truth that many won't tell you. Your legacy is a double-edged sword. You will pay for it. If you want to be remembered as someone who changed the world, someone who stood tall against the odds, be prepared to lose everything along the way. Be prepared for the loneliness, the doubts, the failures, because no one will remember the tears you shed, the blood you spilled. They'll only remember what you did with it. The world doesn't care how hard you fought, only what you achieved. The mark you leave is determined by what you accomplish, what you stand for, and the risks you took. If you want a legacy that inspires, one that sends chills down the spines of the next generation, you must be willing to burn. Some will praise you, some will condemn you, but in the end, only the strongest will stand in the history books. And those are the ones who dared to live without limits. They dared to be ruthless. And that's the legacy I'm talking about, the one that echoes through time, not because you followed the rules, not because you played it safe, but because you decided to leave everything behind, because you knew the world would forget your pain, but they would never forget your name. So ask yourself, what will your legacy be? Will you be forgotten? Or will you be the one who changed everything? The one who left a mark so deep it couldn't be erased? The one who built an empire from the ashes of their sacrifices? Make that choice now. The world is waiting. This is it, the final test. The moment that separates the weak from the warriors. The moment that defines who you truly are. You've pushed through the pain. You've fought every battle. You've sacrificed more than you ever thought you could. But now you're standing at the edge of everything. The end game is here. The moment to prove everything you've been working for, everything you've sacrificed is here. There is no mercy in this world. There are no second chances, no do-overs. It's do or die. It's the ruthless truth of survival. The weak fall and the strong rise. The ones who hesitate, who doubt themselves they won't make it. You've felt the pressure, the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's been brutal. The moments you questioned whether it was all worth it, the nights you fought against the darkest parts of your soul, wondering if the battle was worth the price. But let me tell you this, everything has led to this moment. This is your final stand. This is where you either rise above it all or fall into obscurity. No mercy, no excuses, no compromise. Only the strong survive, and those who hesitate will be swallowed whole by the unforgiving world. Every part of you will scream to stop, to give in, to accept failure. But that is the weakness. That is the moment when most people break. They don't understand that the final stand is not just a test of physical strength, it's a test of will, of resolve, of your very soul. No mercy. You can't afford mercy now. If you want it all, if you want to conquer, to reign, if you want your legacy to be one of power and fear, you have to destroy everything that stands in your way. Every doubt, every weakness, every fear. You must eliminate them all. It won't be easy. It will break you. It will destroy you. But that's what it takes to become something greater. That's what it takes to step into your destiny and claim everything that's been taken from you. No mercy. The world will remember your name. They will remember you as the one who stood tall, the one who never looked back, the one who crushed everything in their path. They'll remember you as the one who refused to die without taking what was owed. So stand tall. Show no mercy. This is your final stand. You will either rise from the ashes or fade into oblivion. The choice is yours and yours alone. No mercy, just power.